What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at, you guys already know, my boy from my favorite anime, Naruto. And it might not be the SHF, unfortunately, but I am still excited to take a look at this figure. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, starting off with the sexy packaging. Now for the sexy packaging, as you guys can see, it does say warning, choking hazard right there. Same thing right here, ages 4 and up. We've got an image of Naruto right here. It does say Naruto Shippuden right there. You got the window packaging where you can see the figure looking pretty dang good, especially articulation wise. Does say Bandai right there. Of course, nothing on the bottom or the top. Then on the back, you do have some poses you can get the figure into. It's kind of funny that he has a Rasengan in his hand, even though, I mean, he only comes with 2 fists. It does say Naruto Uzumaki right there, made in China, yada yada yada, barcode, all that good stuff. Pause it right now if you want to see that. And yeah, let's go ahead and bust this guy open. Now, straight out of the packaging, here we do have a teeny tiny Naruto Shippuden Naruto figure. And for those of you who don't know, this is from a Bandai line. I don't know what it's called, but these figures run roughly $10. And I gotta say, for $10, this is absolutely impressive. This beats out the Anime Heroes figures by far, the Dragon Stars, whatever you want to call them, and I'll explain why in a moment. First off, I just want to give a shout out to the guy who got me this figure. I cannot remember the name, man. I'm so bad with remembering names, so I will post his Instagram somewhere on the screen. Please go give him a follow. If you do, make sure to comment on his page and say Ace sent me, something like that. I don't know, but let him know that I appreciated him. And so yeah, this figure, man, this thing looks dope, and I'm kind of sad because he sent me a picture of this while I was on vacation, and I kind of just glanced at it. I thought it was the kid version of Naruto, and it wasn't. And so when I got it, I was like, ah, man, I thought this was the pre-Shippuden version that I wanted, but it's not. This is a Shippuden version that I didn't even know existed, and I gotta say, it still looks really good, and it does some things very well. First off, I'll be honest, man, this thing really looks just as good as an SHF, as the SHF, and I can show you guys a comparison between the two of them in just a sec. But it actually does some things better than the SHF. That's what's even crazier about it, man. This thing, the face for a $10 figure, that's pretty good. Granted, it looks more like a kid Naruto, like from when he's younger, but it still looks really decent. The hair sculpt is pretty much uncanny. The body sculpt looks good. The paintwork on this is very clean. This thing just looks nice, man. This thing looks very nice. There are a couple of spots where some black is like fading into the orange, but again, $10 figure. I know most people hate when you bring price into it, but this is one of those situations where I feel like you have to. Clean paintwork on the zipper. The black doesn't really fade off too much. The pouch is painted very nicely. All of this down here, the sandals, everything on this looks really good, man. And so I just gotta say, I don't know what this company is, but they absolutely killed it. Now, I know some people are going to say that I'm crazy for saying that this figure does some things better than the SHF, but I'm sorry, I gotta be honest with you guys. It really does. Now, granted, this is a newer figure than this, of course, but this figure did have its issues. Some in articulation, some in posability, a lot of things you really couldn't do with this guy that you can do with this guy. For instance, you still can't turn him right here at the waist, but they did incorporate a dope thigh swivel. Now, granted, it can come off, and I kind of pulled that off just to show you guys that it could. This one still has the old drop-down leg mechanism that they're not adding until the brand new Naruto that's coming out later on this month. Also, another thing I want to show off is the shoulders. This works very well, but it took them 2 tries to get this. They did this on the first one. And as you guys can see, obviously it's not going to come in as much because of the fact that this is a smaller figure. But they just worked in the engineering on this smaller figure so well. And it's both Bandai, so I don't know the process of making these. I don't know who's behind them, but I don't know. I just feel like they did a really great job on this decent articulation for such a small figure. And I wanted to show you guys that he doesn't have like a swivel at the headband or anything like that, but I particularly wanted to show off those pieces. And even the diaphragm joint works a little bit well or better on this smaller figure, as you guys can see. So that's 3 points of articulation where it is competing with a $40-$50 figure, and this one's just $10. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys so that you can see it. Now, I'm sure you guys were able to tell already, but this is a tiny figure. I know I said it, but I don't think you guys know how small it is. So here you go. To the top of his hair, he is right at about 5 inches. To the top of his forehead protector, about 4.5. So very, very small figure. And I really hope that the pre-Shippuden version is this same height, because I think that would be perfect. I don't know. I'm still trying to get my hands on that one. And if you happen to run into it, please let me know, because I would love to have that figure. I'm looking for 3. Now, moving on to articulation, this is probably where I am the most impressed. He looks up about that much. Weird little gapping under his neck, but it does help for him to look up. Actually, he looks up even more than that. But you do get that ugliness, and so I'm not really a fan of that. But it does look up. He looks down almost not at all. The head does pop off if you pull on it. You can kind of maneuver it over this piece right here, but that doesn't help for him to look down at all. It can kind of look like he's looking down, but he cannot get the chin to chest. He does get really good tilt and turn. I don't know why I'm off the camera like this, but there we go. His arms do go up and out about that much, almost effortlessly, so that works just fine. He does have a built-in butterfly joint. He can bring his arms in all the way, just about, and that looks really good. If only he came with extra hands for holding weapons and things. He does have a swivel right there at the bicep. The elbows are single jointed. You can bend them pretty much both ways, kind of, sort of. But yeah, he can only flex about that much, so you're not going to get too much more out of that. The hands are on a hinge, so you can bring them in about that much. You can swivel them around as well. And like I said, you can get Naruto flexing the muscle. You do have a really great diaphragm joint. This is probably the best piece of articulation that it has. I really wish that they painted all the way up to the top, but not much you can do about that. Leans back about that much, leans forward about that much, does get the rocker, does not turn at the waist very well. You can turn it. It's a soft plastic, so it'll work, but it's not meant to be turned. This is the same issue that the SHF has. You don't really get the articulation that's desired out of it, but it is possible. This pouch here, I don't think that moves at all, so I'm just going to say that's not articulated. The legs kick out about that much, which I think that's fine. Does not really kick back. He can do the splits very, very well. He does have a thigh swivel, single jointed knee that can bend back far enough. Foot goes down. That is not how I expected that to work, but there you guys go. Goes all the way up. There it goes. And he does have ankle rocker. See, this figure is so small, I'm like going off of camera with it. I'm going to have to replay this to make sure that this looks good on video. Otherwise, I'm going to have to refilm this. But yeah. Now, since this guy doesn't come with any accessories, I figured I might as well move on to the size comparisons. So I'm just going to compare him to a bunch of SHFs so you guys can see how he scales with them. Here he is standing next to the SHF. I believe this is the best selection Naruto. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. I just mix a whole bunch of parts on these. Also, the SHF Rock Lee and the SHF Boruto. And as you can see, he's even smaller than Boruto. So this, once again, is a small figure. Now moving on to some of the big guns. Here he is standing next to the best SHF Naruto figure to date. It is the SHF Kakashi. We have him standing next to the SHF Jiraiya, and the one he probably scales the best with, the 4th Hokage Minato. I think these all look decent together. Once again, he's still a little too small, except for Naruto and his father. I think they look okay together. And lastly, you guys already know I had to bring out the Uchiha boys. Here he is standing next to the SHF Itachi Battle version Sasuke, the SHF Itachi, and the SHF Madara Uchiha. Now, for my final thoughts on this guy, I gotta say, this is a very decent figure. If you're a fan of Naruto and you just weren't able to get your hands on the SHF and you're looking for some kind of replacement, or you're looking for something just to satisfy your collection, especially if you're not someone who photographs your figures, this is something you can add to your shelf and it looks nice. It's also something you could pick up, pose around, and have some fun with, just if you decide to. I think this is a very decent figure, especially for the price. And I am going to continue to throw price out there if I continue to review these, because this is a bang for your buck. Hopefully at some point they can get to where we can get maybe some interchangeable hands, maybe some kunai knives thrown in, and some weapons and things like that. And if they are able to do that and keep it at $10, these could be some of the best Naruto figures around. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just not a big fan of the anime heroes versions. Those things are about $19.99, and this looks better than that, and it definitely poses better than that in my opinion. So I don't know, I really hope that this secret line continues to thrive. I hope people continue to buy these. I'm assuming they're selling, because I've been looking all over and I haven't been able to find any of these. I've been looking for Kid Naruto for the longest. I didn't know this existed. I've heard that there's also a Kakashi. So I don't know. I hope that this line does well. I hope that people do continue to support these. You guys know how I am. Anything Naruto, I want to see it shine. And speaking of Naruto, once again, the SHF line is going to be restarting this month, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you guys want to keep seeing more Naruto reviews from me, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm going to be dropping them, reviewing everything that releases. And as long as there's more of these and I get my hands on them, I'll be reviewing these as well. So anyway, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.